What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name's Kellam. Welcome to the show. If you haven't yet, but you like crypto, you like content out here helping you navigate this market, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We got a lot to talk about today. We are going to be breaking down how you really make money in this market. Some of you might know this, some of you may have heard this 100 times, but you got to hear it again. And if you haven't heard this yet, then I'm telling you, this is going to change the way you understand how to make money in this market. What we do here at BitLab Academy is we break down the tools, the resources, and these hidden tricks, these hidden secrets that so many people hold on to make sure that you know that green light, that red light, these systems. When do you take a trade? When do you take a long? When do you take a short? What are the different data points? What are the different signals? What is the algorithm that you can download right here in your head so that you know exactly what you're doing when you're looking at the charts? You know exactly what you're doing to pull the trigger on taking a trade or taking profits. It's as simple as doing this. So if you want to know more, make sure you watch this whole video. If you want to know more and go much deeper, make sure you head over to bitlabacademy.com. Sign up, join us there, not only in the Academy, but in the Discord, the community that we have that is ongoing, always breaking down different charts, signals, setups, and helping you along the way to make sure that you can navigate this market. So without any further ado, let's dive right on into it. First things first. Okay, price action on a chart. We want to know what's going on. How do I know when to buy or sell? Well, let's back it up. We got to back up the truck first. We got to head over to first BitLab Academy's Twitter page. Hit that follow, hit that retweet, hit that like. By the way, we're doing a giveaway, which I will be drawing tomorrow. Retweet this right here for a chance to win a free month BitLab Pro. But then also, there's something else I wanted to share with you. Where is it at? Right here. This is a critical chart. Critical chart. Just take a look at this really quick. Everybody might seem nonsensical, might feel like there's a lot of data there, but there is very minimal data here in reality to all the things that you need to do to break it down, to break down these profits in this market, to really navigate this market. If you do not understand this at a minimum, you will not make it. The green light, red light system in your trading to buy and sell is predicated on understanding the trend that you are in. And the problem with this is, the problem with understanding the trend that you're in is most people don't realize you're usually, more often than not, in multiple different trends at the same time. You could be in a macro bull trend with the midterm bear trend with the micro bull trend, or you can have all bear trends, or you can have all bull trends, depending on where you're at and what time frame you're looking at and where you're at in the market cycle. And if you cannot understand this chart right here, you will not make it, because you're going to be susceptible. You're going to be susceptible to emotions and fear and FOMO and greed and all these things that essentially are mechanisms. Yes, they are natural mechanisms that we all have in our body, fight or flight and hope and all these things. But the problem with it is, if you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a strategy to understand what trend you're in and how you can navigate it, how you can best navigate it, then you are going to be susceptible to all those natural things that are in our body. And you're going to be donating your money to other people that have a better strategy, that have a strategy at all, if you are only trading on hope and fear. So let's go ahead and talk about this. What does this mean? Well, the question is, what are all these data points? Well, we can see on this side, we have a bunch of green dots. On this side, we have a bunch of red dots, these targets. And the difference is, in these bull trends, what you're really trying to do, especially in a midterm to macro bull trend, is you want to look for these opportunities of pullbacks to find longs and take profits when you have these areas up here. See this, the exhaustion phase, sometimes down, sometimes sideways, meaning, remember, we talk about this a lot, rise, retrace, continuation. This is the continuation is the next rise, retrace, continuation. Then this continuation here is the next rise, retrace, continuation, until ultimately what we're seeing is, first, an increase in the bullish impulse, a retrace, an increase in the bullish impulse. See how this one is larger than this bullish impulse? And then again, right here, this is getting a little bit smaller from this rise to this rise. This is a little bit smaller than this one. But then ultimately we see a much more drawn down, a much more subdued bullish impulse. We still have a bullish impulse here, but the growth out of this is so much smaller than the previous ones. This is signaling to us what the bullish narrative is or isn't, what the bearish narrative is or isn't. And it's always going to be like the scale of justice, right? When you get a lot of bullishness, the bearishness has little impact, but we still get it. But you understand right here, even on this bearishness, it's ultimately all it is an opportunity for bulls to really take advantage of taking some profits, re-entering and riding the next wave. Until ultimately there's fewer and fewer bulls willing to really have buying pressure here. And there's a sooner jumping in point of where people start taking profits, because you end up having a disproportionate or a change in the type of buyer that is in the market. Down here, you have smart money buying, and they start taking profits along the way. And the higher you get, the further away you get from this bottom, the more people you have that are buying in, that are retail hype type buyers. There's people without conviction. There's people that are buying. They're buying because the market's going up, not because they're looking at a concerted selection of data points. And therefore what happens is you get an imbalance in the market of, okay, well, you have basically weaker hands in the market. And then you get this chop. Ultimately, the market reverses and comes down. And once you've established that the market's coming down, then you look for opportunities for shorts. The pro traders can also short this, long this, short this, long this. But I really don't recommend this to somebody just jumping into trading. You really want to really focus on understanding if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend, and at what part of each one of those trends you're in, so that you can navigate this and do the smartest thing for the trend you're in. Now, of course, there's a lot of different types of trading styles. You can have scalping, you can have swing trading, you can have position trading, and you can just also have buying for a longer term investment. And in that case, then there's no need for you to be looking at a 5-minute chart. Know that. You're giving yourself an ulcer and ultimately unnecessary stress if you're buying for the long term, or you're telling yourself are, but all day long you're looking at a 15-minute chart, just giving yourself a heart attack. Should I buy? Should I sell? Should I sell? Don't give yourself that unnecessary, undue stress. Now, there's a couple key things I want to just point out here. We're going to be diving into the charts here in a second. So I want everybody that's here right now, welcome to the show. I see we got a lot of members here tuned in. We got Just Jim said he missed the early stream, but hey, you're here now. Big love to you. Thank you for being here. Crypto Burger, what's up? How you doing? Alexandra G, how you doing, my friend? Taylor Rodriguez, because it can bump it. That's right. We got all the original, all the homies in the house here. Donato, Cabrera, Granny's Garden, Black Ice, a Quarter Crawler, Sawtooth Hiker. We got everybody here. Alex Green, Justin Eubanks, B Team Crypto. Big love to every Army Pipers in the house. Hey, let's get you here on the show. Maybe, I mean, we could even do tomorrow if you want, or maybe sometime next week. But let's go ahead and come back here. We get so focused on what is the price doing right now? How do I capitalize on it? We forget to take a step back, like Tiger Woods. Yeah, he's a great golfer, but he gets out there on the practice tee box and he goes through, 1,000, 10,000 motions sometimes over the course of a week, practicing the basics. And I know you may not want to hear this. Excuse me. I know you may not want to hear this, but this is what you need. I'm here to give you what you want, but I'm also here to give you what you need, okay? So understanding this cycle, this is a market cycle. And this market cycle can happen over the course of the monthly time frame, the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, the 1-minute time frame. And so understanding this can help you understand how to best engage with the market. So if we're looking at this and we use this as an analog, we buy the dips and sell the rips. That means you're buying when this pulls back, this rise, retrace, continuation. And on this push up here, this is a mini market cycle as well. We have a market cycle low. We have the bullish impulse. We have the distribution top. We have the sell-off into the next market cycle low. That's no different than when we look at the Bitcoin price. So we come over here. Let's go to the monthly. Double click on this. Let's go to another chart that's less colorful. Boom, boom. Okay. You know, this one right here, let's go ahead and remove drawings. It doesn't have enough data. Here we go. So look, low, high, low. What does this look like on the monthly time frame? This looks like a bull market. Even though we like to think that we've had bear markets, if we're purely looking, at the 1 month time frame, this is just a rise, retrace, continuation. Rise, retrace, continuation. Rise, retrace, continuation. So we get so up in arms about whether or not we're in a bull or a bear market, and everybody's wrong because we're in all of those things at all the times, depending at what time frame we're looking at. So you have to identify what time frame you are trading on and what the corresponding time frames are around it. So if you're trading on, let's say you like trading on the 4 hour, you need to also understand what the weekly looks like, as well as the daily, as well as, 4 hour, 8 hour, all the way down to maybe the 1 hour and the 15-minute, because you can get the context of the situation a lot clearer when you zoom out, then you zoom way in, and then you can zoom onto the time frame you're on, so you can understand essentially the context of the landscape around you. And I think it was, where was it at? On this one right here. Remember, I shared this probably 6 months ago. This is what we want to be paying attention to right here. The landscape, broader market context. This doesn't mean just looking at the different time frames. If we're talking about Bitcoin, we want to know what's going on with the dollar, the DXY, giving us the strength. Is it a risk on or risk off environment for markets in general? We want to know what's going on with, the environment, the macro, the midterm, the micro. This is those different time frames we were talking about. Having a plan. What kind of entry are you looking at? What are your targets for entries? Do you have one entry? Are you laddering in 1, 2, 3, 4 different entries sometimes? 1, 2, 3, 4 different take profit levels. That doesn't mean you need to take everything out of the market when you take profit, but especially if you're trading smaller mid cap or very micro cap coins, if you have a profit strategy, and the profit strategy is, when I hit X percentage gain or I hit this price target or whatever your strategy is, you're going to rotate capital. You're going to harvest free money out of that and put it into your longer term portfolio and still keep some in that asset if you'd like. Maybe it runs forever and that's the one that makes you a millionaire. But in case that doesn't happen, which many of these coins, they pump and they dump, then you at least took some of that free capital, put it in your longer term portfolio, and you're growing your portfolio over time. Remember, you have to remove emotion and use fundamentals. Remember, yesterday I was talking about how price of an asset is not the thing you should be looking at, whether it's a good or a bad asset. If you're coming over here to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap and you're going, oh man, Bitcoin's 20, not 20, obviously, we're way up from now. We're 43,471. That's too expensive for me. I want to get something that's under a penny. That's what I want. I want to get something. Okay, we're not seeing anything here. Let's scroll. Let's see whether it's Cardano or even a meme coin or something. Oh, this is so, okay, even Render. Man, this is so much more affordable than Bitcoin. If you're looking at price to determine something's value, you're doing it very wrong, because that is irrelevant. Because in this case, on Render, we've got, let's see if I can turn some of these things on. Customize. Let's go back. Let's go to Render. Where is you at? So Render, for instance, remember Bitcoin has 21 million coins. Render has right now 374 million coins. Total supply, 531 million. Okay. So this is orders of magnitude more supply available and more supply to come than Bitcoin will ever have. So of course the price is much lower, but it also means that this price is, I would almost guarantee this price is not going to go to $40,000 a coin, because it's just the wrong way to look at it. That's not how things work. We want to remove emotion, remove ignorance, dive into education, and understand that we need to use fundamentals. Some of the fundamentals are understanding the Bitcoin halving, understanding where we're at in the macro cycle, right? We talked about macro, understand where you're at in relationship to the halving at all times. And so if we are in a downtrend, we don't sulk and get upset and get mad and like, oh my God, market's always going to be going down. Or why did I buy here? It's going down. If you bought here and you made a stupid mistake and you bought near a top, well, you can see over time, history has shown that even if you bought at a top, if you hold and you don't capitulate, maybe add more at the bottom, then ultimately you're going to end up in profit, especially if you are averaging your entries lower as the price goes down. So when we're talking about this market cycle, we're talking about what's going on here. We can never be mad that we made a bad entry. We can just make sure we have better entries next time and we adjust course and we make sure we take advantage of the trend we are in. And I'm going to tell you right now, the trend is going to be over the next 5 to 8 years, a huge flood of capital moving out of other markets and moving into Bitcoin and other digital assets. Some of them are going to fail. Some are going to win. This is why it pays to have a diversified portfolio. If you are excited about what is going to come in Bitcoin and crypto and blockchain and what it's going to do, the impact it's going to have on this market over the next 10 years, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us in this community. Ding that bell. Now, let's talk a little bit about this market cycle and how it relates to what's going on with Bitcoin. We'll use this as an analog. If you're watching this today, this is fantastic. If you're watching this at any point in the future, it's okay. I might not be giving you TA for the day that you're in, but we're going to use understanding this market cycle for how we can navigate what's going on in the market. So we're trying to identify where we're at in this part of this market cycle, because remember, we have been in an uptrend since basically January 1st of 2023 until now. Today's December 21st, 2023. We had basically this uptrend. We're trying to determine, are we somewhere here? Are we somewhere here? Are we near a distribution top? And remember, there's going to be 3 different market cycles we're looking at on the time frame we're looking. So when we zoom in on this, this is that area, January 1st, 2023, uptrend. You see this? Rise, a little bit of retrace, continuation on the monthly. Okay, so uptrend. So we've broken out of the downtrend. We've had a retrace. We've been in this continuation. So what does that look like in relevance to where we're at here? Well, here's the downtrend. Here's that first rise. Here's that first retrace. So it looks like by this account, we're somewhere right here, which, let's be honest, that means we've got all of this to contend with. This means we have all of this opportunity that if we're down here and we feel like we missed it, oh my God, we missed the bottom. Well, look at the damn market cycle cheat sheet. This means that all this area you can't know that you're in this until you've already come down, tested, and made this move. So in a way, nobody's missed anything. You've had a conservative approach. Maybe you felt like it was broken. Maybe it was ignorance. Maybe it was accidental. But we have the confirmation that we have broken out of that bear trend and we've had that rise retrace and we're in this middle of the continuation, which means we're likely going to get another opportunity very soon. And this is in line with understanding where we're at in the market cycle as it relates to the halving. We've had each cycle before, a rise, a retrace into the halving, and a continuation. In this case, we had the rise much before we had the halving. We had the retrace. We had the opportunity again. Continuation. Where we're at right now, zooming in on this. So the rise into the halving is going to be somewhere. I don't think it's going to be there. It's going to be, we're on the monthly though. Let's go to the 3-day. Let me zoom out a little bit. Put this right about April 15th, right at somewhere about the middle of the month. But looking at this, we hide all these lines. This is where the halving was roughly right here. So we're having this rise at some point. At some point, we are going to get a retrace continuation. So as this stands right now, we know we are in a bull trend, especially looking at the monthly, looking at the 3-day. Let's get down to that. Let's get a little bit smaller time frame on the daily, or sorry, on the 8-hour. We see we had this low back here. This is, that same macro low. But when we start really zooming in here, we can see we had a low here. We have this strong bullish trend right now that basically any of these dips coming down to this, in this case right here, This is going to turn on the line. So we had this level right here, option T. Anytime this came back and touched this line, this was buying opportunities until we ultimately launched up. Now we leveled up to the next level. We have this macro level of support here that was previous resistance. Each time we've come down to it, this is marked good opportunities. Here, maybe you weren't sure. Maybe you're like, oh, it's going to crash through because we have not yet tested this. Well, we tested it. Not only did we test it, when we pushed up, we came back to it. And on coming back to this, if we come down to the 4 hour, on coming back to this, we can see we have bullish divergence here on the momentum waves. So this gave us more instance that the bullish divergence here shows that there's more strength coming. There's more strength here than we were recognizing. And in addition to all this, we can also say, hey, the trend tells us that we're in an uptrend. Price is coming back to a known level. So rise, retrace, right? So on this sort of midterm, smaller time frame, we're not yet in the small time frames, but on the 4 hour, we're coming back to a known level. Good buying opportunity. Do we buy? Well, we have bullish divergence, but not only do we have bullish divergence, we know we're in an uptrend on the macro, we know we're in an uptrend on the midterm, and we're coming into a known level that's already found support. And in addition to all this, let's still be a little conservative. Let's use our tools. Let's use our strategies. We see the price action getting rejected at this level. Rejected. And as this comes down to a known level, we have an expansion of bearishness and then a little bit of a reduction of that expansion. You see how this candle is smaller? And then we get a spinning top. Then we get a hanging man here, okay? All right, this isn't a hanging man. This is more of a, it's almost like a hammer candle, but it's a doji hammer candle because we see that we have this long wick. The bears tried to make it, and the bulls said, absolutely not. You're out of your mind. We also have bullish divergence. So this is showing the narrative of the bears is already waning, coming in before we even tested this line again. So on this candle, do you buy? Probably not. On this candle, do you buy? Probably not. On this candle, now your setup is there. Just understanding the trend you're in, understanding that you have a support level below, and you have the candles telling you the narrative that the bears are trying, but the bulls are saying, no, we're coming into a level that we're going to bounce from. And then ultimately we have this next candle that basically we have a bullish, not only a bullish engulfing candle, but a candle that shows a start of an expansion to the upside. So on this case, we already saw the macro, we saw the midterm. So what we do is let's put a line right here, and we're gonna put this just like this. We're gonna replay it as we see this playing out. Then we know what the landscape is because we've been looking at it. I don't need to go through it all right now because we've been talking about it every day here on the BitLab stream. The Dixie falling, risk coming back in the markets, global liquidity up. All this frothiness and excitement and the bullish speculation about everything coming in the new year for Bitcoin and the fundamentals and all the things. So then we're coming into a known level. We're seeing this, the bears make an attempt. We're coming to a known level. So let's get to a little bit smaller time frame to find our trigger. Let's get down to the 1 hour. Okay, now on the 1 hour, we're in a downtrend. See this? Downtrend. So remember, we are in a macro bull market, midterm bull market. Now in the smaller time frame, we're in the middle of a downtrend. It started all the way back here, December 8th. We've been in a downtrend all the way because here we have a high, and then on this break all the way down here. See, this is the trend line. Boom, 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 boom. And we're asking on this smaller time frame, we're having a little bit of a retrace in this, we're having a little bit of a little mini bear market in this 1 hour time frame. We're asking, when is it going to reverse? We had an attempt here. It came up. This also showed us a lower high that also did not even meet breaking the threshold of this previous range lows right here. In fact, this is about where we're struggling, these range lows right here. Okay. So what we do here is we saw that we're coming into a known level. Okay. Coming into a known level. We see an expansion of bearishness coming into it. We want to say, is this going to bounce or not? Well, we can see this level on the price action here at 41.7 is much higher than this level down here at 40,800. But what do we see right here when we're looking at the BitLab trend fuel? these same two locations. We see a low and a higher low in these same two positions, where this is and where this is. Okay. So there is some bullish divergence forming right here. And then what happens is we actually end up falling beyond this, which is okay because the full setup wasn't there for that trade. We're just asking, is this going to be a continuation of bullishness on the midterm? Is this going to be on the smaller time frame, the reversal we're looking for to catch, to go to the upside? Well, we're seeing some signs of that. And as this comes down into the zone, we're seeing also, look at this, bullish divergence on the stochastics. See how this is low and this is higher, and this right same position, this is high and this is lower. There's strength coming in underneath. While the price is going lower, the stochastics did not come as far down. So what we're seeing here is we're coming into a known level. We know the bias is macro bullish, midterm bullish, and now the small time frame, we're setting up for a potential reversal. So let's see how this plays out. Are we on, let's go to 3x speed and we play this out just a little bit. Okay, you see, now if you just jumped in on that, we had that washout, which is going to happen a lot in crypto. This is why it's important to have stop losses and not, especially if you're doing some high leverage, which I do not recommend. If you're going to use leverage, keep it at 3x, 5x, maybe 15x if you're doing a $20 trade. Don't be putting your life savings at risk. Don't be putting your entire portfolio at risk. Be smart. But we saw this macro bull trend, midterm bull trend. On the 1 hour time frame, we are in a downtrend. So if we know we're in a downtrend in a macro and midterm environment that's bullish, then we also can identify based on our market cycle trading cheat sheet. And you're all welcome to go to my page. I retweeted this today as well. Save this. Utilize this. So this is a bull trend, bear trend, bull trend, bear trend. If we're talking about the small time frame, because we had a full market cycle here, right? From the low to the high to the next low, right? But on a macro environment, this is a bull trend. But you had a maybe 1 hour time frame bear market within that. So we're trying to find these opportunities to identify those buys. And this is going to be the name of the game going into the next year and a half, probably. There's going to be some very strong bullish behavior. And we're also going to see some 8% pullbacks. We're also going to see some 25, 30% pullbacks that scare the life out of you. And the point is, don't throw everything at every trade that you're doing. Be smart. Be considerate about where you're at in the trend and letting these different time frames, the macro, the midterm, and the micro, let those different cycles sync up and be able to identify these smaller time frame bear markets, these small bear retrace trends, so you can identify where to enter this market. So coming back here, re-identifying this, we're identifying this pullback right here or right here to identify when to get into this. And this is going to be the same on Bitcoin, Avalanche, Render, Cardano, Ethereum. It's also going to be the same on the pairings of different assets between, whether you're pairing Cardano to Bitcoin or ETH BTC. These principles happen on all assets always, okay? So we're trying to play this retrace. We're coming into this known level, macro support level. We see the bearish move into this level. We see an attempt up, a flush out to the downside. We're seeing the money flow is still a bit negative. We're seeing that the stochastics are rolling over. Maybe this isn't the time yet. Let's see how this plays out. So this is just strength coming up. You see this? And now it just booms up. So two things that we can take from this is price action all the way from here, all the way to over here. We had a downtrend, rejection, 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 rejection. And then what do we see? What did we ignore on this? The candles themselves tell a story to us. The candles themselves right there gave us a pattern that said this may be a bottom of this downtrend. Why is this? Because we can see on this movement, we have a W formation, a double bottom formation. Double bottom formation that also I won't call that bearish. Let's see right here, option T. I'm going to draw this just like that. Yeah, so this was clear as day. Let's go to the traditional indicators just so I can show you. So if we zoom in right here, option V. So what I want you to notice right here is I want you to notice the low here and the lower low on the price action. You're asking, is this going to find support at a known level that it's already bounced at before? Is this going to go down? Is this going to wash me out? Well, on this first bounce, we didn't really get very clear signal yet because the RSI and the stochastics, they're not really giving us any divergences. And we're using traditional indicators here. This is just the RSI, stochastics, and checking money flow. But primarily, we could actually even delete the money flow, delete the MACD. We can look at just this RSI and the stochastics. When this comes down to this level, I want you to notice on this bounce up, this is a signal. It doesn't mean you buy here. On this bounce up, let's wait to see how the response is at this level, because this is not a clear level just because it comes down and bounces. This pushes up, and as this rolls over and comes back down, what do we see right here in the RSI and the stochastics? We see an increase in the strength. As the price came down, if you're asking what I'm talking, if you're asking what I'm talking about, see this level right here, and this is much lower. Price came much lower. In the same time period, the RSI, the strength is higher, the underlying fuel for that move. And the reason why all this matters, and it might sound like I'm echoing other things I said before, when we tie together understanding the data points that we're looking at on strength and stochastics, also right here, bullish divergence. So we have this coming up as price tried to make an attempt lower. This is a liquidity washout. This is a bear trap to the downside, committing people short only to then rocket it back up. And we can tell that because on this candle close, especially on this next candle close right here, we can see that the strength is higher, stochastics are higher, and the price made a lower low, but the bears could not commit to going further. The bulls are too strong. There was a fake out. There was probably some, fake selling in here to cascade that down only to be bought right back up. And we're at this known level now with bullish divergence giving us that signal. So not only all that is in place, we know that we are on a macro bull trend, a midterm bull trend, and we're trying to find these retrace bounces so we can capitalize on this next move. And in this case, we get the W formation, bullish divergence, because we've already established that we were in that bullish trend. So now we can draw our neckline on this formation, this double bottom formation. And what do we see? We get the bounce, rise, continuation to the downside, failed. We have bullish divergence, and then we have a move outside of this trying to confirm this reversal on this 1 hour time frame. Remember, in this case, we're looking at the shift in cycle trend on the 1 hour time frame. And so this W formation, the confirmation of this is perfect here, because what do we see? What we see here is the price action bouncing, breaking through this neckline right here, rising up, retrace, testing this neckline, continuation. So on a 1 hour basis, this gave you all the signals you needed just using traditional knowledge of market trends, price action, and the relative strength in contrast to what the price action was doing. Now looking at this in the BitLab trading stack, you can see right here, this also, when this came down, this formed, look at this, high selling volume, stopping volume, a little bit of consolidation, and then continuation to the upside. On the breakdown here, we created order blocks right here. A lot of buying pressure came in. Here. And so on this move, look at this. We're having a move to the downside while the stochastics are still coming up. This was also signaling this is not as weak as it's trying to make itself look. And then ultimately, now we have the rise, retrace. We're going to get a continuation, or we're going to get stuck in this sideways chop. So we had a little bit of a market reversal here. New market cycle bottom on the 1 hour time frame. rise, retrace, continuation. And we have to ask ourselves, is this ready to break out or not? And maybe you took this as a scalp trade on a 1 hour time frame and you take some profits. Maybe it doesn't go out yet. Maybe this is, everybody's so excited about everything here. This doesn't go up yet. You can never know. You can only just get yourself in position to take advantage of market moves as they come. In this case, this is a little concerning because you see this W formation here, but now we have an M formation here. You see this on the 1 hour time frame, M formation. But then also, we look at this on the 4 hour time frame, 1 hour or 4 hour. We also see this M formation. And in this case, we have a lower high here. And right now we're kind of contesting whether or not we are going to move below this and break the neckline here, in which case I think we will likely come back down here into the 41.90 zone. So the point here is understand the market cycles that you're looking at. Understand that there's not only one market cycle you're in. There's not only one trend you're in. Now remember, on this daily time frame, uptrend. But if I get down here to the 15-minute time frame, look at this, sideways. This looks like a distribution top. M formation, it breaks down, comes up. M formation still pushes up. M formation, also a head and shoulders right here. There's this underlying bearishness at this level right here that on this 15-minute time frame, this is looking like it's trying to make some moves to come test this area down in here. So always ask yourself, when you're looking at a chart, what trend am I in? And remember, that doesn't just mean I'm in a bull trend, but what trend are you in on the weekly or 3-day? What trend are you in on the daily or 12-hour? What trend are you on the 4 hour? And what trend are you in on the 1 hour, 24, 30 minutes, something like that? Because it pays to understand the larger picture so you can figure out how to navigate when you're on the smaller picture, the smaller time frame. If you can find something that's shifting into the gears, say you're in a downtrend on a 1 hour or a 15-minute. If you can find that inflection point of when that trend, that downtrend that is within a larger uptrend, when that downtrend within the larger uptrend, which is this move right here, this downtrend that's within a larger uptrend, this downtrend, if you can find these inflection points, that's where you make the most money. Because when you find this move right here, then you can ride this all the way up and take some small profits here and then reallocate right here on this dip. And that way, there's a couple things that happen. When you do this, it also means you don't always need to be putting new capital in the market to fund your trades. You can start letting your trades fund your next trade because you're finding those inflection points of when you have the rise, retrace, continuation. And that's what it's all about. But everybody, I want to know right now, what is the best trade that you made? What is the best trade that you've made where you actually not just bought, something that you bought and that you took profits on? What coin was it on? I'm curious about that. Garo is building and adding biometric support. Did digital ID wallet for self-sovereign ID? Do your own research. Well, I'll check into that. Quarter crawler lurking. Let me check right now where we're at on. Let me check really quick where we're at on the membership emojis. I want to add another emoji, but I think last time I looked, it was like we needed like 40 people. By the way, everybody, all you members, if you haven't yet, we did a great member stream yesterday breaking down Fibonacci's and the many different ways you can utilize them to aid in your analysis. So let's come back over here. Okay, earn. Let's see. Members. Customize. Emoji. Oh, 4 more members needed and we get the next emoji. I wonder if I can show you guys the different opportunity, I think I can open them up. Let me open up the different icons. I have a bunch of icons I made. Guys, I cannot believe it's Thursday, December 21st. By the way, hit that like button. Join us here if you haven't yet. We're just I'm just engaging with the community right now. Been talking for 2.5 hours now from the last stream and this one. So let's be a little playful now, right? Members, thumbnails, no, hit network. BitLab Academy. membership. There we go. And date modified. Open with. Okay, so here, I'm going to show you. I can pull these up on here and show them to you. I'm going to show you the different. Man. Open with. One more. All right, here, I'm going to show you guys the different emojis. Let me get back over to the screen with you guys and chatting. View activity. Oh, welcome, maybe a Band-Aid. You became a member. Shout out to you. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and gift 5 memberships on my own personal page. Stick around. I'm about to gift some memberships, baby. Let's see. Gift. Oh. Cancel. I got to do it on my computer, I guess. All righty. About to give some memberships, baby. Okay, 1 second. 5 memberships. Boom. Let's do it. All right, let's do some TA real quick. 5 memberships there, gifted. Let's see who gets those memberships. Big love to every one of you. We got Ski Packs. We got Just Jim. Let's see who got them. Taylor Rodriguez. Thank God you got a membership. Preparing for War. Robbie shooting. Mark Shin. Ninor. Right on. Shout out to everybody there that is a member. Now, actually, let's go ahead and look right here. We're going to go. I want you to let me know. You guys let me know which one of these. We're getting Inception here. You guys let me know which one of these. You guys let me know which one of these next membership icon you want. You guys want this one? Sorry, the emojis, I mean. This is a buy the dip thing I made. We got the Santa Man here. He's also happy. Do you like the party guy here? Or do you want something else with some words? You let me know which one you think is the best. I personally really like this guy right here. I thought I had another one too. Let's see. The dog. This one is kind of doesn't really work. But we got this guy right here, a lab with some sunglasses. You guys let me know. But let's go ahead and do a little bit of TA. You guys let me know. Everybody drop it in. Let me know in the comments right now what you're liking. And but I want to do some TA here before we go. Let's go to the 2 hour. We already talked about what's going on here. We have a little bit of a double top here. If we break this level here, which is also this previous high right here, you see these 2 levels. If we lose this level, I'm looking at price action coming down, likely testing this zone right here, 42,937, and then potentially coming down a little bit further. Crypto Chronic member for 1 month. Mili Kilikimbaka is a thing to say. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Big love to everybody here. Everybody, what are you grateful for coming into this holiday season? What are you grateful for? Let me know. Now it's coming down. The Dixie, I want to talk about this. I talked about it very briefly on Discover Crypto, but this is very important. The dollar index losing this all the way up here at 116 and has come all the way down. You see this? Rounding top market cycle right here. Low, high. Now it's coming back down, and I do think we'll likely get a new low on this. But seeing this come down at the end of this this year is supporting everything else that's bullish lining up for all of this. So we need to pay attention to this. So when we're looking at the Dixie, turn off the volume here. We can see that, I mean, on the 2 hour, look at this, just downtrend central. We're going to want to see this continue going down. What does Cardano look like on the chart? What are we seeing here? Let's go to Cardano, looking a little ugly right here. because we do have a trend line, option T, coming up like right here. Similarly, a stronger push back up, come back down, and we're having some weakness right in this zone right here. Now, there's a couple different things we can look at. If we're only looking at the 2-hour time frame, this kind of looks like an ascending triangle with a flat level of resistance, which means this could very well break to the upside. And we are seeing this stochastics kind of trending to the upside with the lows. The momentum wave is rolling up there, but I mean, I'm not convinced. You see, I mean, look at how sharp down these momentum waves are. Stochastics rolling over. I still think we're in for a bit of a doozy to the downside. I don't think if it's yet. Red Elephant, welcome to being a BitLab Tech. Shout out to you. How many? We got so many great members here in the community. Is my camera working? Check, 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 check. Everybody throw a 1 in chat or your favorite emoji. Throw the chicken head in chat if everything's working. On my end, it shows that the camera's not flowing for some reason. Okay, good. So it must just be on my end. So coming back over here, all good, Tiggle Bitty said. If we're able to take out this level, which I want you to notice something on Cardano, we have the trend signal line coming right here, right about where this previous level of resistance has been right in here. And this is basically at the 62 and a half cent sort of zone. If we're able to take this out, I do think we're going to get a bit more of a push up. But my concern here is that this was quite a large push. This retrace, this is a much smaller push right here. So it's showing that there's some waning bullishness coming into the zone. So be a little cautious here that if we do push up right here, if it's not marked by some new fundamental change, that's amazing. Some new big thing or big shift. It's just price action pumping right here. I'd be a little skeptical, potentially watch for some profit taking levels, because this is indicating that some weakness came into this impulse, smaller impulse. So this next move up may just be a test of this level only to break down and create. What would that look like if that happened? That would be creating a, what is this? Shoulder, head, shoulder. If it does something like that. So let's be a little cautious here. And I'm not saying it can't happen, but this is also why you hedge yourself by taking some profits when you get to levels that you're a little concerned with. You hedge yourself. And if the trade still goes, then you're able to let that moonbag ride it out. Algo has finally been performing fairly decently here. Push up here, but this is a lot of chop in the zone. My concern here is that we have a lower low right here, and we're trying to contest this recent high. If we cannot take this recent high out, then this may be a little bit of a chop and a bit of a retrace before continuation. If we come down to AVAX, actually, let me come over to this chart right here. I thought I'd change this. This was from the Fibonacci lesson that we did yesterday. But if we come down to Avalanche, notice something. Look at this. Break of the level. Rejection at the level, break at the level, come back to test the level, continuation. This was a beautiful setup right here. And then on all of this, I want you to notice something. Look at where this came up to. Right up into this this 382 level. And if we, let's see, there was another one that I had on here. Is it here? I had another whole nother chart on this. I don't know where it's at. Is it right here? Yeah, we're coming right up on this 382 right here. We're going to watch if we do take this out, likely coming up somewhere into the $67, $68 sort of range. Is going to be an interesting level because it not only is it the golden pocket, but it's kind of tied in with these range lows between this 0.5 fib, which is this low, and the golden pocket, which is this low here. So this is going to be an interesting area for AVAX when it gets into this zone. But I am excited about AVAX in this next bull market. We're looking at XRP. XRP also just being very choppy. It's being very choppy. I think people are starting to get a little fed up with XRP. But a huge community, wonderful. I'm not counting it out. But I think people getting a little bit more and more skeptical as these different, like for instance, JP Morgan coming out with JP M coin and different stuff like that. There's a very easy argument to be made that things like XRP could be completely displaced and go by the wayside. At the same time, they have a huge infrastructure, and they also are integrating with a lot of different banks and a lot of different systems out there in the traditional finance world. So I wouldn't count them entirely out. I still think this is a great play as a portion of your portfolio. Remember, you don't need to have a huge disproportionate amount of any coin out there. Filecoin performing well recently as well. Excuse me. Push up, rise, retrace, continuation. But this continuation was a very quick move up, very quick sell-off down that came right in line with this previous high. And now we want to watch what happens here because we're having some bullish, bearish divergence on these momentum waves in here. So we need to be a little careful here. We're looking at, that's the 12-hour though. So yeah, this is looking, got a trend line right here. We're going to want to watch if we break this trend line. It doesn't mean it's coming all the way down, but if we do break this trend line, coming down to 498, something in this region, $5, and if we lose that, coming down here into the 471 sort of zone. If we're able to bounce here, and we still have the ultimately this high here to contend with, 589, and then all the way up here at 625. But if we, yeah, I think things are looking, altcoins looking a little, looking like on the daily, look at this. So on the daily, this is kind of rounded out. So even though on the smaller time frames, it was looking like it was getting a little bit, it may have a little bit of a correction. This right here on Filecoin looks like it's somewhere in the midst of this right here on this market cycle cheat sheet. So this means if this is that sort of W formation for it to break out, then I'm okay with missing some of these areas in here, finding the right zone to get into and watch for that rise, retrace, retest of this sort of zone right in here. Retest of this zone. Once this pushes up into this, retest of this zone, and that would be identifying as this sort of zone right in here for this next very strong bull trend push. MATIC, how you doing, girl? MATIC, looking a little weak. See this breakdown here, W formation, push up, M formation, which also can end up just being a bull flag, depending on how long this is going to, or bull pennant or something like that, depending on how long this formation takes. And if we are able to push up in here, then I'll kind of count out this being an M formation. But as it stands right now, this is a little bit scary, but it's not the end of the world. This is why we use different forms of analysis to really break things down. In this case, we also have the stochastics fully reset. We're on the daily. We have positive money flow. And so what does it look like on the 4 hour? 4 hour, look at that. This basically clipped all the way down here and has angled up sharply back up to basically the zero line. We're also trying to take out right here look at that, weekly VWAP, took it out. We found rise, retrace, tested it. And if we can have this, what is this, a 4 hour candle here? If we can have this essentially find the support here and close this, especially if we're able to close above this candle, this previous candle, get a bullish engulfing, we get basically a 3 candle pattern here suggesting the continuation to the upside, which is actually quite bullish. And in which case, then we have this move to contend with from where we're at right now all the way up here. That's a 20% move just to be inside this pattern. So things are looking good, everybody. Things are feeling